Make this Christmas one to remember with a very uniquely personalised letter from the big man sent to your child. Not me. I'm not the big man. Father Christmas, Chris Kringle, Santa Claus. And that's thanks to our friends at the santaco.co.uk. Their innovative website creates a truly personalised letter, not some stock letter with they just put the names in various places. This is word for word created uniquely for your child, where you go into the website, put in all the details in terms of what they've been doing, their achievements, what they might not have done very well in the last year, things you want them to learn, where they're going on holiday, all these types of experiences, their siblings, their friends, all that type of thing. And the technology crafts a perfectly personalised letter to your child and sends it out via Royal Mail. They have some fantastic Trustpilot reviews as well. And this is their launch year as well. So some really good deals to be had. And West Ham Network members and friends and viewers of the show, they have a special deal for you with 30% off the list price if you use the promo code West Ham Network at checkout. And they have several different packages as well. They have the basic package, which is a personalized letter and features in a festive red envelope. I'll show you in a minute how that looks. A nice list certificate and free delivery via Royal Mail. They also have the deluxe, which, as it said, is the basic package but printed on even glossier with a traditional red wax seal, including magic North Pole snow, a candy cane, a plushie toy, and a Christmas Eve checklist. And then they do have the North Pole signature experience, which includes a personalized story of a plot based on on Santa and your child, and some various other stuff as well, including a QR code to hear Santa read the story aloud, as well as a personalized video with the big man. And here is my letter, a certificate which says that I am officially on the nice list this year. Standard, sort of knew that, but now I've got a certificate to prove it. The official North Pole delivery is made out to Russie B. The letter that we saw, but obviously all printed up, and it's got a QR code at the bottom there, which apparently, which we'll find out if we just scan the QR code, and it downloads, gives you a voice note.
Greetings from the Santaco. Wow, what a year it's been for you. Well done on your huge YouTube success and that thrilling chat with Slaven Bilic. Hope you're still tying those shoelaces proudly. I've heard about your Dubai adventure and the pizza challenge. Cheeky.
There we go. So that is thesantaco.co.uk. And get involved. Cover your irons.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. We are live giving you the Julian Lopetegui press conference reaction. We are going to change things for the game up and coming on Monday evening. Now, if you didn't see there, the Santaco, who are sponsoring the channel for the month of December, make sure you go across there and check it out. Of course, there is a special deal, 30% off, where you can get your unbelievable message sent across to our wonderful children and whoever you are looking for. It's a great, innovative idea, so make sure you do go across there and check it out, of course, as per usual. But I've just came off of watching the live press conference. They're now in the embargoed section. And I think that we all knew he was going to get pressed heavily from the press. And I'm actually really surprised West Ham let that flow, and they did. They let it flow and they let the questions come in at him. And I think he handled it reasonably well. I'm seeing comments coming in saying that they weren't inspired by his answers. I have to give him credit considering the level of questioning that was given to him at the level that was given to him. So you're not really here to listen to me as such. We'll talk about the points that Julian Lopetegui brings up in the press conference. So let's get cracking. But before I do, I want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Lopetegui won't change anything at West Ham, and us fans want him gone before Monday. From Paul, Stefan Russ White, we're drawing this whole saga out. It's a bloody circus. Hello, Dad's Our Job podcast. I seen you there as well, so don't worry. Show some class, Loppy, and just walk. Seen the press conference, not inspiring to be honest. The man just waffles, and unfortunately really isn't up for the job. The geezer's such a blagger, crying in the board meeting, begging for more time. Have some self-respect. No, you didn't miss much at all, Vince. So let's get cracking with the press conference. Now, when the press conference was going on, I was taking down notes myself rather than waiting for the club to give me them and taking my take on what was said. So let's get cracking on the first point. Let me see if I can get this. That's not what I want. What am I trying to achieve here? No. Is this the one? No, that's not the one. No, 2 seconds. Oh, man. Is it this one? It's this one. That's the one. That's the one we want. Gives you a little bit of a cheeky background. So, the first question he was asked was, how's he been over the last 12 hours and 24 hours? Now, what we're learning to believe is that coaches and managers are very good at giving you politicians' answers. So very quickly, he replied by saying, we work and to be ready and compete in the next challenge on Monday. So, and they have to be ready for that. So very quickly, kind of came away from the actual question itself, but the press wouldn't stop. And they spoke to him about how it had to be a must-win game. So he went in and said the following. Let me remove that away there. He said, I'm not thinking about this. We have one important challenge. They have good players and a good coach, and we have to be focused. We have to be ready to give our fans one good day. I understand all the things about football, to face a tough and hard match, but we have a big opportunity at home and to be ready to achieve 3 points. Of course, we are not happy. Of course, the fans are not happy. They give us more than what we have given them. And I think that's a valuable point. It's true. You have not given us back in return what we give to you as a club. So we definitely need to see dramatic changes, have to see dramatic changes moving forward, whether you are Lopetegui in or Lopetegui out. The club now, the circus now has decided that they're going to give him one more chance. The mainstream media have picked up on the fact that this is the vital game. They pressed them on. Have they directly told you that this is the last game? Again, very political answers back. Very good at kind of coming away from the main question. And they were actually asked about, and I've wrote in there quotation marks, leaks. They were saying, like, is it really good that people find out about what's going on at the club? And he said, I'm aware of these things and I have to be ready. The last match was not enough, but we have to avoid the first goal against us. We have to improve for sure. So they didn't really stop with the leak question, and then led them into talking about potential, are the players on your side? So the question was, are the players with you, Lop? And he said, the players have a fantastic commitment. I have nothing to say. I accept all the responsibility as a coach. I believe in them. Then led one of the press conference people to talk about a potential bust up, which we heard about to Debo at halftime against Arsenal. He said the thing that happened in the dressing room have to stay in the dressing room. And I don't know what you thought, but nothing important happened. And we can only take what these people say to us, because again, when we do these shows, we have to say whatever information comes out, we have to take with a pinch of salt. And even the information that comes from the top level at West Ham, we have to take with a pinch of salt. That's the key part for me. This is the key element here. Now, if you think about the last 24 hours and what West Ham fans have had to go through, what Lopetegui's had to go through, what Titans had to go through, what the players have had to go through, it's so inconsistent, the messaging, even from the top when they leak that news out. It's so inconsistent, and that's the ridiculous thing. So when it comes to things, we never know what really happens. We're just led to believe certain things. But he's saying that nothing important happened. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see if he's going to be making it back. I mean, the thing is, it never really talked about team news. This press conference was all about Lopetegui and the potential for him leaving the club. And he was asked about and mentioned that in the past that he has walked away from situations when things aren't working out and are not happy. And he says, but you were talking about a different situation. Wolves, we are preparing for Monday. They have very good players. Again, another political answer, but coming away from the situation. And it's true, I suppose, he looked for money. He didn't get the money he wanted. He wasn't happy about the future. And I genuinely believe Lopetegui would walk if he felt like he was getting mistreated in some way. And this is where I am confused by the whole situation, because I don't trust the top level. I'm not saying I trust him there, but it's all over the place, isn't it? It really, really is. They were asked about training. and what happened and what did you do after the Leicester game? He said, we're working after the Leicester. We have reviewed the footage. We had chances. It's about goals. We were more calm. The small things we worked on, we need to keep clean sheets. It's key. 100%, everything that we know. But obviously something we need to do is put the ball into the back of the net when we create the amount of chances we do. We know we need to do that. I know that yesterday he was talking a lot about the performances, that they were better. He referenced the Newcastle game quite a lot. I certainly don't think the Leicester game was similar to the Newcastle game, but in terms of opportunities, I suppose there was an element of similarity between them. And then again, he was asked about with the players he's got, about scoring. He said we have to be self-critical. We have to let the players know we have belief in them. We have a lot of shots and we have to be more clinical, but first we must not concede. So really he rammed home about not conceding goals. And I don't know if this is a nod to change of tactics against Wolves. I'm slightly concerned because if Todibo is missing and if there was any element of animosity and he chooses not to play Todibo and we start with Mavropanos, I can't help but feel like I'm going to feel negative about the game going into it. And that's the thing that confuses me about this West Ham setup, because he's really focusing solely on not conceding goals. And does that mean Areola's going to step back into the team? But has he fallen out with Areola? I don't know what to believe anymore, but we'll have to wait and see what happens over some time. Then he was asked about Wolves themselves. Are you surprised that they're in this situation? He said they do have good players and at times they have played well. And they have, to be fair, at times they have played well. And that's why, coincidentally, for November, Gary O'Neill's up for Manager of the Month, I think from the previous month of October. But things have just gone to pot in November. He said, we know their players, we know the type of team we're going to face, but we have to focus on what we're going to do. And I think that's the biggest thing here is don't respect the opposition too much, but don't disrespect them too much either way. There's a fine balance about what we're coming up against. We are at home, we are under the lights, and you need to give us fans something to ram home about and be excited about moving forward. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It was an interesting general press conference, to be honest. One of the people asked him, what has gone wrong? What has gone wrong, Lopetegui? He said, we know we need more points. We have to be more consistent. We have to improve without losing our way. And that is something he really rammed home in this show. He said, we have to be more consistent. He said all the time in the press conference, consistency, consistency, consistency. And that's fine saying that, but we need to see that into fruition. We need to see that into the team, into the games that we do play. The next thing he was speaking about was the fans. And this is... The journalist said, what's the message to the fans? What is your message to the West Ham fans? And he said this. The first message for them is to say thank you for their support. The second is to say, we are going to change... Sorry, everyone, 2 seconds. Sorry, everyone, 2 seconds. The message for them first is to say thank you for their support. The second is to say we are going to change things. I know they will support us and we will need them. Their energy gives the players an extra step, which is crucial. And this is the thing. This comes down to, we'll talk about this at the end of this press conference, but it's about, people talking about not turning up to the game and boycotting the game, and it's everyone's own choice, and no one should look down upon anyone if they do go, and no one should look down upon anyone who chooses not to go. But, either way, if we don't support the team and the atmosphere is terrible, which we know it can be, but equally we know it can be good, especially on the Sunday night, we need to see something back in return. And he's rammed that home in this press conference that we know we're not giving as much as what the fans are giving us as well. He was then asked about pressure. What's it like being a manager and what's the coach and all that stuff and the pressure. And he said, always have the opinion that in football you have to accept the good things and the hard things. We have to be able to work under pressure and do our best. We will continue to do that. So, listen, I didn't expect any form of difference in the press conference. I fully expected him to be rammed and pulled apart in terms of what's gone wrong and questioned about every single negative thing that comes out of West Ham. And I genuinely think he handled the press conference the best way he could. And yeah, I'm more confused by the board's decision on the fact that they leak. That's it at the end of the day. Let me jump into the comments and see what everyone else is saying. Was all filler, didn't answer much. You're completely right, Troj. Mark says, not bothered with the club, still at the moment, getting bored with their flannel. I feel sorry for Lope, something I never felt for Moyes. Lope's out of his depth and needs to go. I mean, listen, there's some stuff coming out from the mainstream media today. You know, elements of like stuff that would come out. Mind-blowing stuff apparently behind the scenes contributing to the current situation. And once Lopetegui has gone, the gloves are off and all will be revealed, apparently. I mean, I don't know where all these people get this stuff. And, you know, it just feels like we know Lopetegui's going, but hey-ho. Do you think he stopped shaving again because it's worked against Newcastle's? Man's tries everything. I feel sorry for J-Lo, but then again, he walked into this situation. I've always felt that he was a transitional appointment. We wait for the right man. Abel Ferreira, incoming from Brazil League, ends on the 8th of the 12th. I have sympathy for him if he got family issues. Vince says, I won't be using my season ticket on Monday. I won't do it again until this circus is over. I blame the board now than the manager. Vince, the board have been the issue from day dot, mate. Unfortunately, with all due respect to winning the Conference League, which was the best moment of my life as a West Ham fan, the board that papered over the board situation. We put our focus too much on the coaches and on the managers of David Moyes and Lopetegui and even Avram Grant and Pellegrini, when in actual fact the focus should have been on people who run the club from the top. It's easy. If he stays, we go down. I think Todibo is injured. He was, but we don't know if he's coming back. We should be setting up with 3 at the back. Kilman, Todibo and Mavropanos. I'm concerned about Mavropanos, if I'm being honest with you, dads. It's not really what I think is the way forward for West Ham. Even Casey could get into that defensive lineup. I'd rather Casey in for Mavropanos to give him a shot. Why not? Because I feel like there's a disaster going to happen when Mavropanos plays. It's so judgmental, but it's the way I feel. I feel the same about Mavropanos the way I felt about early days Ogbonna. Focus for sure. Matt, apparently not. We had a row with Lope at halftime during Arsenal, and Lope sent him to train with the kids. I wouldn't throw in a kid when we're struggling. Would be unfair. Casey's better in the air than some of our centre backs. I can no longer be bothered with anything to do with the poison. So, Andy, mate, you're the same as me. I don't know how you've been feeling like that for a while. Only under 21 level charge. He's not ready. I read today he's injured a tissue. Well, he came off, didn't he? Obviously against Arsenal. So either boycott Monday's match or go protest against Sullivan. Sullivan is thick-skinned. He won't change. He will not change. I will completely agree with you there, 100%. Yeah, it's pretty simple to cover things up. Say someone is injured. Well, he did come off though, Vince. He did come off with his knock, or he was struggling with halves anyway. It might be both as well though. So who knows? If Spurs don't want Ange, I'll have him at West Ham, and I'm starting to see a lot of people say that. I mean, Spurs fans do not want Ange at the club. At all. They're fed up of the leaks that he's bringing into the game. Anton, big game tonight. Burnley v Middlesbrough, Parker v Carrick. Who would you have as West Ham boss? Out of the two, I'm open, of course, to Carrick. I think it's built up an interesting career so far at the lower levels. Knows West Ham, but does he know the modern West Ham? Who knows? Anyway, there you go. There's my reaction to the Julien Lopetegui. We know he's going to be on a touchline for the game against Wolves. Will he be on a touchline after Wolves? Who knows? Have they made their decision already? Quite possibly. But when it comes to our board, no matter if they've made their decision, they can change their mind. And if they haven't made the decision, they'll change their mind. And I don't trust a single thing that comes out of their mouths. And I don't trust a single thing that is fed out into the mainstream media, because it is a circus. And the reason we are a circus is because we're ran like a circus from the top through to the bottom. Anyway, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. I'm going to check if Tommy's coming on tonight, and we'll let you know for the rest of the week. Take it easy and come on, Irons. Thanks for watching. Irons.